What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode of the Second of Strength podcast. Wherever you're at, I am grateful you're here. Grateful you're spending a few of your valuable seconds with me. This is an important episode. I should say special episode. This is episode 100. So 100 times we have gotten together. We've talked about all the things. We've helped shape your mindset, helped me. I think that these podcasts, probably more for me than anyone, have been very therapeutic. But so I can't really believe we're at episode. I can, I guess, a little bit, because when I started this, I made a promise to myself that if I was going to start a podcast, I would not stop. I would release an episode every week, and I would show up. I would show up for you, but more importantly, I would show up for me. And so that's what I've done. So I can believe I'm here, but when I started this, so I guess this morning when I was talking to my wife about episode 100 and recording this, she was kind of said the same thing, like, wow, I can't believe it's already episode 100. And I said, well, if there's nothing else, I'm pretty stubborn that I would keep going. And she tried to get me on camera saying that I was stubborn. So this is for my wife. Yes, I'm stubborn in many things, and it's not just recording a podcast, but I'm grateful you're here, grateful you're listening, grateful for those of you who have shared it, those of you who have left rating and reviews. Like, it helps me a ton, and I'm just grateful to be on this journey with you. One thing I will say with episode 100, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to give you something. So anybody who leaves a rating and review this week off of this episode, if you leave a rating and review and then jump over to Instagram and send me a message saying you left a rating and review, then I will send you a 1 second of strength sticker. I've got the foam finger design stickers that I will send you. You just got to leave a rating and review. Go hit me up on Instagram, send me a message at Real Tanner Clark, and tell me that you sent one. We'll get your address. We'll send you a sticker out, because I want you to feel and see how important you are to me. So anyway, leave a rating and review, get a sticker. We'll help you out there. But today I felt like we needed to throw it back a little bit, kind of to where this all started. The very first episode I did was about the 1 second of strength. What is it? How do you do it? What does it mean? And what does it mean to me? And that episode is still, to this day, the most listened to episode. I think a lot of people, when they find the Second of Strength podcast, they go back to episode 1 and they learn about the 1 second of strength. And the 1 second of strength to me was a simple concept that I came up with. I've said before, I don't really know when or how it evolved. I just remember saying it, 1 second of strength, and it helped empower me to overcome so many things in my life. And it's one of those simple ideas that, when planted in like planting a seed, when you plant it in somebody's head, it starts to take shape. And so I think that's why 1 second of strength has been, kind of the consistent theme, the name of the podcast, the first episode, and where it all stems from, because it's such a simple phrase that can change you. But today I want to talk about really 3 seconds that will change your life, 3 seconds that'll help you be happier. And every one of them just takes 1 little second. So be happier in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. But to start, we've got to understand a little bit what 1 second of strength means and why it works. And if you think about it, what this comes from, it's your brain. It taps into the actual emotional and logical process that you have in your brain. And when we were like ancient ancestors, we had our, back when we were, cavemen, life was about survival, and life is largely still about survival. But the difference is that back then it was about surviving like animals and dangers and things. And today we're afraid of a lot of things, and we have this survival mechanism of brain that we'll talk about, but it's not something that is, make it or break it. It's not something that, like, if something happens, most of the time you're not going to die like getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger or something like that. So what happens in your brain is you've got 2 parts that are really, really critical. The front part, right in the forehead area, is your prefrontal cortex. This is the part of your brain that's responsible for logic, problem solving. It's responsible for your personality. Ultimately, it's responsible for decision making, just really sound, logical decision making. There's another part of your brain right in the middle, in the limbic system. And the limbic system is the emotional response center of your brain. And housed in the emotional response center of your brain is something called the amygdala. And I don't want to get too deep into this, but I think it's really important to understand. So the amygdala is what you've heard of, the fight or flight response. And really, a lot of people will say it's really 3 things: fight, flight, or freeze. Flight, fight, or freeze. And it's this part of the brain that is always on high alert, like looking for dangers, looking for fears. And this is ingrained in you and ingrained in me, and it's just something that we have. But it's like, if you think about different animals, if you think about that deer who is like, foraging in the forest, and then it hears a stick break, and then all of a sudden it's on high alert. That is the exact same thing. That is fight or flight. Should I run? Is something coming to get me? Should I take off? What am I going to do? And so these are the two really critical parts of the brain. And these are two critical parts in the brain for setting goals, for going after them, for deciding what matters most in your life and then pursuing them. The problem is that the amygdala, this fight or flight, stands in the way of your potential. It stands in the way of your greatness. And because too often when we set a big goal, these big, huge, audacious goals, and we want something big for our life, there are obstacles that stand in our way. And to overcome those obstacles, it takes moving through fear. It takes overcoming self-doubt. It takes all these things. But that fight or flight part of our brain goes, whoa, 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 wait a minute. We're not doing that. That someone's going to judge us. Hold on. We're not doing that. We can't step out on a limb like that. Like, what if we fall? What if we fail? What if people look at us differently? And we start like putting up all of these barriers that limit us, because we're listening to that emotional part of our brain that is tapping into fear, and we're going, hold on, we got to go backwards. We got to run away from these things that are going to scare us. And so we do. But your 1 second of strength is a moment. It's a moment that you have to choose. Viktor Frankl said, in between the space of decision, really, you have a choice. That choice, that moment is your 1 second of strength. You have the power in 1 second to choose. Choose to override the emotion, choose to override the fear, choose to override the self-doubt. All of that is a choice, and it's a logical choice. So instead of letting the emotional part of our brain, this limbic system, amygdala, decide what we are going to do, we have to stop it. And we have to choose with our logical brain that is developed. And by the way, teenagers, if you're a teenager listening to this, or if you're a parent, your teenager's brain, that prefrontal cortex, doesn't develop in the head until about the age of 25 years old. So they are always thinking emotionally. It's harder for them to think logically. But for us, for adults, what we're looking at is in this moment when fear sets in and we start to doubt ourselves and we start to go, well, wait, it's way comfortable here. Why would I jump out on a limb? What if I fail? What if I fail? That is the moment where you get to choose, you get to hack your brain and decide that you are not going to let fear dictate who or what you can become. And that moment, that second between choice, is what I call your 1 second of strength. It is 1 second where you get to decide, you get to choose, and you get to decide that fear does not control you. You control it. You get to decide what you're going to do. And so as you think about that, and you think about overriding your brain, hacking your brain to be happier, hacking your brain to overcome, hacking your brain to reach your potential, hacking your brain to become the person you want to become. As you think about that, there's 3 seconds that I think will help you overcome and be happier. The first one is 1 second of strength, as we've talked about. But this is your 1 second where you get to overcome distractions. I think that distractions are what are keeping us from ultimately becoming who we want to become. And whether that is a distraction of fear, and what I really believe is that there's 2 types of distractions. There's external distractions and there's internal distractions. Your external distractions are like, your social media. It's things that keep you stuck because you're procrastinating, because you're deciding to do something else and tap into instant gratification, things that feel good now, instead of pushing forward to things that are going to feel good in the long term. And we're making this trade-off in life. And so Muhammad Ali once said, "It isn't the mountains ahead to climb that wear you out. It's the pebble in your shoe." And I believe that the pebble of the shoe in the shoe of anybody is distraction. It's social media that is keeping you stuck. It's anything that is keeping you procrastinating from the person you can become to get the thing that you want to get ultimately in your life. So that's the first type of distraction, is this external distraction. The second type is internal distractions. A lot of times we put up these barriers: self-doubt, fear, perfectionism. We put these internal, or we embed these internal doubts and fears in our mind. And when we do that, we are basically saying to our brain, I'm not good enough to become the person that I want to become. And instead, and we let these thoughts like kind of permeate in our brain, and we decide to just go backwards, retreat to who we once were instead of moving forward to who we could become. But you have the power in 1 second of strength to overcome either your external distractions or your internal distractions to move forward on the path towards growth, towards happiness. It takes 1 second of strength to say to yourself, no, I am good enough. No, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just have to make progress. No, I don't doubt myself. I'm going to doubt my doubts. It takes 1 second of strength to choose to do that. It also takes 1 second of strength to close your phone. It takes 1 second of strength to move your phone to the other side of the room. It takes 1 second of strength to delete social media for a few days because you got to focus on something else. And I know that's hard. And in the moment, it is really hard because the instant gratification that is tapping into the dopamine in the emotional feel-good center of your brain is going to say, no, I need more of that. But you have to be strong enough with 1 second of strength to go, I know that feels good, but I am here for something else. I am here to reach my goals, reach my dreams, become the person that I can become. So you get to choose in 1 second to overcome that. But I believe when you find your 1 second of strength to overcome distractions, whether that is an internal distraction or an external distraction, when you find your 1 second of strength to overcome the thing that is standing between you and what matters most in your life, the very next second will be the best second of your life because you'll feel freedom and you will begin to build this strength muscle that says, I can do anything because I'm strong enough, because I'm good enough. And you'll start to build upon these successes, build upon these small wins that will put you in a position to accomplish anything you want to accomplish in this world. It takes 1 second of strength to start, 1 second of strength to keep going, and 1 second of strength to continue on forever. You just have to keep going. And over time, that consistency of choosing what matters most will override any internal or any external distraction that is keeping you where you were before. So that's the first one. That is one simple way to be happier. Start using your 1 second of strength to overcome the thing that is keeping you stuck to move forward, because growth leads to happiness. Progress leads to happiness. Distraction keeps you stuck. So that's the first one. The second one is 1 second of gratitude. I believe that gratitude is the sunshine on your rainy day. And if you want to be happier, and if you're in a moment of pain, in a moment of hardship, a moment of struggle, in a moment of like difficulty, because everybody has tough days, everybody has difficult days. And to be frank, I've been going through some quite difficult days recently. But you have to choose gratitude. In 1 second, you can choose gratitude. There's a quote, one of my favorite quotes says, the happiest people I know count their blessings instead of their problems. Are you going to count your problems today, or are you going to use 1 second of gratitude, really 1 second of strength to think gratitude, but 1 second of gratitude to think something positive, think about something, anything. And even if you're going through a hard time, right now, which I feel for you, and life can be really hard. There's pains on the economy, there's pains on family, there's inflation, there's, financial struggles, there's emotional struggles. There's so many things going on right now. But when you choose to think gratitude, things that you are thankful for, it puts the focus on things that are going to make you happier instead of the focus on things that are going to drag you down and continue to drag you down. And so you can think about that, like maybe the hard days right now that you're going through, maybe thinking gratitude is that you're grateful for those hard days because those are what are going to strengthen you and help you move forward. Maybe, if you feel like you're hitting your rock bottom, maybe we can be a little bit grateful for that, because isn't rock bottom the best place to jump from? And so there's these moments where you get to choose what you focus on. Maybe if it feels like it's been raining in your life, maybe that's the water that is going to help you bloom. And I think that sometimes we get so focused on the beat down that we forget to focus and shift our perspective to the things that are going to help us grow. So 1 second of gratitude will help you be happier. It's 1 second of gratitude that is going to shift your mindset from any negative self-talk, from anything that is dragging you down, into a place where you can be grateful in the moment. and pick something small. It doesn't have to be something huge. Like, notice. One of my friends has a company called Go RO. RO means to notice. What can you notice around you that you're grateful for? Is it birds chirping? Is it the sunshine? Maybe it is the rain. Maybe it is, that you have a warm home. Maybe it's just you have some food to eat today. I don't know what it is, but there is always something to be grateful for, even in the moment of pain. And if you can find gratitude and count your blessings in the moment of pain instead of counting your problems, then you will be happier where you are today, and it'll help you grow to where you want to be tomorrow. One of the biggest pitfalls is that if we're not happy where we are today, we probably still won't be happy when we arrive at the place we're trying to get to. So choose happiness, choose gratitude, and if you choose gratitude, happiness will follow you everywhere you go. So that's the second one, 1 second of gratitude. The last one is 1 second of service. I have been thinking a lot about service recently, and what I would challenge you to do today is find 1 second of service that you can perform. Whether it's known, whether it's unknown, it doesn't really matter, and it doesn't even have to be big. Just know that you performed some act of service for somebody else. Because service, when we focus on other people, it changes who we are to focus outward on helping people instead of focusing inward on a lot of our challenges and our problems. So focus on serving someone else today, whatever that may be. And again, it doesn't have to be big. It could be, wash the dishes and, make someone lunch. It could be buy someone lunch. It could be pick up a piece of trash that you see outside because it's just the right thing to do. It could be putting somebody's shopping cart away. It could be opening the door for somebody. There are so many minute, teeny, tiny moments where you can serve somebody else through your day that will change who you are inside and help you become a better person over time. But it just takes 1 little second of service. When we focus on helping other people, we minimize our own problems because we are so focused on helping other people accomplish their things, accomplish their dreams, accomplish and rise to the level that they can rise to. Service changes you. And I've had times and experiences in my life where I've been struggling. And in those moments, I focused on helping someone else, even somebody who I might have considered, the problem, right? Somebody who I'm struggling with, a relationship, a personality, somebody who's been a little bit of a struggle for me. I focused on serving that person, and when I chose to serve that person, it changed me and changed our relationship. Service is one of the fastest paths to happiness because it focuses on helping other people instead of dwelling on our own problems. So those are the 3 seconds. I believe if you want to be happier, there are 3 seconds of change you can make in your life. Focus on using your 1 second of strength to overcome fear and distraction and self-doubt and all the things that are holding you back. Focus on 1 second of gratitude to be thankful in the moment of pain for all that you have instead of all the things you don't have. And the last one is 1 second of service. Focus on serving other people. And if you can do that, happiness is within your control every single day. Your 1 second of strength is about being in control of your moments. It's about owning where you're at. And I believe you have the power in 1 second of strength, 1 second of gratitude, 1 second of service to overcome anything in your life and put yourself back in control. It just takes 1 little second of strength. So I hope this helps you today. Episode 100. I'm excited. I'm excited for episode 101, 102, 103. I hope these episodes help you. I hope that you share them with people and that they help other people as well. And I hope that through little things like this, I hope there's little nuggets that help you change your day, change your life. So I'm just grateful for you. So wherever you're at, I'll leave you the same way I leave you every time. Go find your 1 second of strength and be happy.